Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be showing you how to do this female Chucky look. So if you like to see how I did it, just keep on watching. So starting off, I went in with the CC Beauty Cream Paint Palette, and I'm mixing the red and the yellow to create an orange shade that matches my wig, and I'm using that to fill in my eyebrows. I know this video is a tad long. I'm sorry about that. I was trying to edit it down, and speeding it up too fast sometimes makes it look really bad. And I didn't know, because the details in the stitching, I didn't want to really skip through any of that because I wanted to show the process. But I mean, I guess I could have now that I think about it, but I don't know. Tell me if you think I should cut those parts down a lot more, and I will. Oh, and I also put some of that same shade on a spoolie brush and ran it through my eyebrow hairs to make them the same color because my eyebrow hairs are pretty dark. And then I went into the Coastal Scents Hot Pot in the shade Redwood, and I'm using a blending brush, and I'm just running this into the crease on my left eye. I'm not going to be doing anything with the right eye right away because that is the eye that is going to be damaged. So next Tuesday, I'm going to have a Shop My Stash makeup tutorial going up. And then the following Friday, that Friday in the same week, I'm going to have a pastel female Joker look coming up. And then next week, after that, on Tuesday, I'm going to have Pride look. And then Friday, I think I'm going to have, I'm not sure actually. And I did run some of that shade along my lower lash line as well. And then I'm just putting some in the contour of my eye where my eye socket meets my nose, just to kind of give that a little more definition. And then I went into the shade Oktoberfest from Coastal Scents. And I'm taking this little by little because I didn't want this shade to add too much warmth to the look because I wanted it to be slightly more neutral, but then the red wood color, since it has a little pinky tones to it, it helps to give like a nice faux irritated effect to the eye. And I didn't want to go too heavy with the warmer brown shade because I felt like that would lose some of that irritated look that I was going for. And then I thought about it, and I decided to just sweep a bunch of that shade on my lid, but very, very lightly, just to give my lid a little more, not look so light in contrast to what the other eye is going to look like, because I knew the other eye was going to be super dark. And I was like, well, do I want this eye to be light, like in actual reference photos of Chucky himself, or did I want to, add my own little twist to it? And that's pretty much what I did because, one, this is a female Chucky look, and two, when you're doing like a gender bend cosplay or anything like that, you could just do whatever you want as long as you have like certain characteristics that stay true to the character so that it's recognizable, if that makes any sense. But that was the reference photo that I used. I actually flipped the photo in a photo editing app because I wanted to make sure it was on the right side of my face. And when you flip the image, it's kind of a mirror image, and it helps to, when you're looking in a mirror, to kind of put the stitching and the marks in the correct place. And I'm just using that shade Redwood, and I'm using that to outline with a blending brush where I'm going to have the cuts, because it creates like a soft wash of color to help give the irritated appearance around the stitching that is going to be happening on my face. I don't even know if that last chunk of dialogue was even understandable, because after saying it aloud, I was like, wait, am I just making a whole bunch of nonsense, or am I actually making sense? I didn't know. But if it's not making that much sense, you could pretty much just follow by visually looking at the video and seeing what I'm doing, and hopefully that helps. And then I'm going into Makeup Geek's Bitten, and I'm using a flat shader brush, and I'm using that to outline the big wound on the right eye of the character, because if you look, it is kind of multi-dimensional in color. There's some reds, some browns, some black in the reference photo. So I wanted to start off with the lightest color, which was the more reddish toned color. Oh my goodness, I cannot speak today. And if you hear those bells, I'm sorry about that. Then next I'm going into the shade Chocolatier from Coastal Scents, and I'm using a flatter shadow brush, and I'm using that to outline the very edges of this wound, and I do blend it downward into the wound, but not like obviously outside of the shape I just created. And then I went in with a mixture of the red and black water activated paints from Snazaroo. I forgot to film the first two little marks, so that's why I was doing that like weird wavy thing. And then yeah, and I'm just creating the lines where the stitching is going to be. And yeah, I finally decided to grab a headband because my hair was just in the way. I should have done that to begin with, but I don't know why I didn't. Oh yes, and something else I forgot to mention, that I didn't bring the wounds all the way up to my hairline, like in the reference photo, because my forehead's going to be covered, so I figured I kind of didn't have to. But if you're going to be wearing a wig or just have your natural hair and you don't have bangs, you could just do it all the way up to where they end in the reference photo. But yeah, I'm just using a mixture of red and black to create like a darker red color. And I figured that this would be like more of the center wound color. And then along the outlines, I am going to be outlining it with just black in a little bit. And then if you look at the reference photos, these lines aren't completely like straight and symmetrical or anything. So you want to make some areas of the wounds a little wider, some a little closer together, etc., etc. So taking a much smaller brush and just the black alone, I am going to be applying the black along the edges of not only the eye wound, but then along some of the areas of the stitching as well. And I'm just blending it slightly upward into the shadow colors. And I will go back in with that shade Chocolatier and blend it all more later. But yeah, I think I just remembered. Wait, did I? No, maybe not. I'm pretty sure after my Pride look, I do have another regular makeup look coming. Yes, I think I do. And so that's going to be that following look that I post. And then after that, I'm going to be starting a new series. I'm going to be starting, I think I want to start my post-apocalyptic Disney princess series, well, Disney character series, because I think one of them's a queen, not a princess. And that's going to be, what is it, 6 looks that I have planned. I could either do that, or I could do a rainbow series where I could just do monochrome looks based off of the rainbow. Let me know which one you would want to see first. If I don't have anybody comment saying which one they want first, then I'm just going to probably be doing the post-apocalyptic Disney looks. But I am going to alternate doing those. So I'll do 2 looks in that series and then a regular makeup look, and then 2 more looks in that series and then a regular makeup look, and so on and so forth. So I don't crowd all of my content on here with just character looks, if that makes sense. Because I actually have been having fun just filming regular makeup looks. It's been a while. I mean, I wear like certain looks all the time, and I really need to catch up on my Instagram, but I'll like post looks on there every now and then. And I'm like, when I sat down and filmed that video I posted on Tuesday, I was like, wow, I haven't done this in a while, and it was like so much easier because it's so less time consuming. I was like, I need to start doing this more often so I don't feel like I'm like overdoing it, because with all the character looks I've been doing, it has felt slightly overwhelming, especially because I'm going to be starting Halloween looks in the middle of September, so I want to make sure I give myself as much of a break before I do all those. And yeah, this is just me filling in all those areas and me kind of chit-chatting with you guys and letting you know what's up, what's going to be coming, and all that. And then I went in with the black one more time, and I'm just doing the stitching. In the reference photo, there is some black stitching, and there also looks like, I mean, it could be a dark brown, but I went with black. And then there's also silver staples, so just kind of see which goes where, and then put those where they're meant to be. And there are some areas that don't have stitching at all. Okay, so next I went to Pomegranate Red from Coastal Scents, and I'm taking a very, very small, like, it's almost like a skinny pencil brush, and I'm just kind of dotting those along where the stitches end, just to kind of show some irritation around the stitching as well. And then I went into the Color Icon bronzer in the shade Ticket to Brazil. I'm pretty sure that's what this shade name is called. It's from Wet n Wild, and I'm using that to just bronze up the blank side of my face. Then I am taking this contour shade from the Wet n Wild contour palette in Dulce de Leche, and I'm using that to contour my cheekbones. I do end up contouring the other cheekbone too, just to kind of give it a little more dimension under the stitching. And I also contour my jawline on both sides as well. And then I decided to take just a little bit of chocolatier and put it in the very outer corner of the eye that I did the look on. The makeup look, not the wound look. And then also just running a touch of that on the lower lash line as well. And then it was time to do the silver staples. So that CC Beauty cream palette that I used before, I took the silvery shade out of that, and then I went and did the staples. I did have to go in with a couple layers because this wasn't as opaque as I was hoping it would be. But and then I just placed those down, and then I do the same thing that I did with the red on the edges of the staples that I did with the stitches, just to give it a little more of an irritated look. Then next I went into the shade, I believe it's called Harvest from Coastal Scents, and I'm using a very small detail brush, and I'm going in between some of the stitching and the staples and just creating bits of shadow to give it more of a 3D look. I mean, it's not the best, but I think it helped. And next I went in with the LA Girl Glide Gel Liner in the shade Very Black, and I'm using that to waterline both of my eyes. And then I took the Essence Volume Stylist Mascara, and I used that to coat my top and lower lashes. And then I went in with the Ofra highlighter in the shade Rodeo Drive, and I used that to highlight my cheekbones. I did do both sides. And then my Cupid's bow, the tip of my nose, and the bridge of my nose. And then for lips, I went into, oh goodness, I believe this is called Hotline from ColourPop. It's one of their lippy sticks. Pretty sure it's Hotline. If it's not, when I do update this video during this weekend, I will have the correct name listed down below. Now that I'm seeing the color, I'm actually thinking it's not Hotline. I don't think Hotline is actually that light. So I will have that updated in the description below for sure, because I'm doing that this weekend on Sunday. All the last 20 videos that I haven't done, I'm definitely doing that. And then I go back in with my little brush and I bring some of the stitching down onto my lip. And that is pretty much the end of this look. I just threw on a wig and put it up in a little style. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you aren't already or if you want to, and I'll see you in my next one.